Welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is a game called Candy Machine. Candy Machine is a game about running a candy factory. Place machines and conveyors and feed them different mixtures of ingredients to create candy. Also push them through heaters and condensers to increase their heat and moisture. Inspired by Big Pharma and many other business games, run a candy factory and deal with contracts and the changing demand for candy, which affects the price. Purchase upgrades and build your factory in your own way.
Just don't try to play
Several
this
objectives and game modes, campaign,
Hmm.
like, and set your own challenges. So yeah, it it's less a candy machine and more a candy factory, like which contains many candy machines. So this game was given to Twilight, and he has opinions on Candy Machine.
Mm-hmm. This here now, where to begin here? Yeah. I'll just get straight to the point. This game seems to be incomplete. It seems to have gone through some issues and was never finished, even though it's been released. I'll get to the general gameplay here. It's rather simple. You're basically be placing down the this here. The various stations that do their job. Starting with the import, which where you place the ingredients for candy, and the next the mixture, and then usually after that it's either the maker or heat or whatever, and go on and put into export. And like I said, it's simple, nothing really complicated. Honestly, as you're doing these things, your general goal in as you're building your machines and whatnot will either be to reach a certain objective of how many of this particular kind of candy you're making, and or however much money you're making and intending to make, or both. It was in a certain amount of time. It's usually days that are. I'm not really sure what decides how much time a day passes. I don't remember. I didn't pay that much attention because, I've noticed that this game's on the buggy side. Let's see now. You'll be doing something like, for example, trying to make something like, this is a prime example I can think of from my experience, making chocolate candy, and you're required to heat this candy up to like a level of 2 in terms of heat. There's no adjustment for that or anything like that. It's nothing complicated. Just send it into the heat, and if you monitor it, you'll see the heat points rise up to like 2, and then it'll go on through, and that's that. But then in another game, I'll get to that here in just a moment. It'll rise on up past 2 and on up to like 9 and stop, and the candy won't proceed on through. Now you'll be primarily playing this game through a story mode, and it's divided into several sections determined by difficulty: easy, medium, hard, and extreme. I was only able to make it up to medium before I quit because of various bugs I was running into. The story is somewhat you're going to be having your suspension of belief. Um, what's the word I'm looking for there? It'll, you're going to have to have some suspension of belief here. You're a kid. You're simply called Kid, and he's got no name. His grandfather owned this candy factory, and in an accident, he died. And the kid was very sad about this until he learned that he's going to be inheriting the candy factory, and he was very happy. And yeah, and that got him through that really fast. And yeah, he's just, you're not given an age. You're just that say kid doesn't have an age to him, but yeah, I assume he's like any of these teens or something like that. And he's running the candy factory, and by himself, he knows how to get a loan from a bank, and that's what sets into motion the money goals and whatnot. And yeah, basically his challenges of running his factory, and the goals for this game get more difficult as you go along. It goes from having to export so much candy to having to make like $100,000 in like 1,000 days, and so on and so forth.
So do you start from scratch every challenge or whatever, or do you like build just one factory and then always use that one?
You start
and just update it.
You start from scratch with each time you go through a level. Yeah, you build from scratch, and dependent on your goals, what equipment you need to use and such. Like you may have require the use of a heater, or this one machine here called simply called a condenser to increase the moisture in a candy, or may need an evaporator to reduce the moisture. I never did see anything here for reducing heat.
Heat usually reduces by itself over time.
Yeah.
Like in real life, so. I mean, I'm not saying that's how it works in the game. I'm just saying that and not that they don't use refrigeration in some processes, but
yeah, I understand. Yeah, that just kind of put me off of the game, where I kept running into the issue of the heat, and it wouldn't come to an end, and so I kind of gave up on it from there. And I ran into some other issues, like there were times that the candy would not proceed on through on the conveyor belt. You just pretty much just snap everything together, and then it just does everything by itself, and just gotta wait it out until it reaches its goal once you done everything you need to do. And yeah, there's also I didn't have any issues with the controls, but I noticed this really odd requirement to quit a game after you succeed in your goal. There's no button to press to continue on forward. You have to exit out of your game in order to go on to the next one.
Like exit to Windows, exit your game?
Exit to the main menu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what? Does it stop, or does it just like
keep
going
stops,
unless you do that?
It just sits there until you exit out of the game.
I kind of thought we got past that and Windows 3.1, but whatever.
Yeah. Even without these issues, I honestly have to say that this game would be kind of bland unless it did everything they have been planning on doing with this. If it got any better, I don't know. It's just I can see potential for this, but it's as it currently is, it's bland and boring, and there's not really much else to say in terms of gameplay. It's fairly simple. The tutorial there's a tutorial section for this game. It kind of does its job, even though besides the basics, you have to kind of figure out things like the heating and condensers and evaporators and whatnot by yourself, though it's not all that difficult. So that's not really much of a complaint. There's a free mode where you can just do whatever you want. I imagine anybody who would be playing this game would probably be just doing that just for the fun of it. And yeah. As for the graphics and visuals and whatnot, actually, I almost forgot about a few other details on the gameplay. You can paint your equipment if you want to. That doesn't really change anything. There's also some upgrades as well. I almost forgot about that. So they never really use those. They're just for unlocking new recipes like rock candy, taffy, and gummies and whatnot. There's just honestly, recipes don't really seem to change all that much. Besides how much money you get out of them. Beyond that, it's generally going to be the same thing over and over again when making the candy. There's not really much of it. I never really encountered too much of a challenge from where to where I got to. I know I got the medium, but not really all that demanding. It's pretty relaxed. There's also upgrades for the machines where it just seems like it's just mostly get cheaper machines and upgrading the speed that the machines work on the candy, and that's about it. Yeah, I don't really have I don't really have much praise for the gameplay and overall. Now back to the graphics and visuals. Nothing outstanding. It's okay in terms of graphics.
It looks colorful.
It's pretty colorful, yeah. Fitting for the theme of the game of being about candy and making candy, running a factory for candy. Yeah, can't really say too much else in terms of visuals. It does the job. It's colorful. Though, I don't really want to take any jabs at somebody's artwork, but artwork in the story portions of the game is clearly done in MS Paint. I'll just say just that. Not everybody is good at art, but yeah, everybody's gonna have their own opinions on it. And the animations are pretty smooth. The music and sound effects, I don't really remember much in the way of sound effects. Let's go ahead and say that. The music, on the other hand, honestly found to be quite charming, and it's kind of relaxing in a way, and fairly upbeat as well. I only remember up to about there being like 3 or 4 tracks, you know, are pretty fitting for the game. Like I said, upbeat and relaxing. Depending on the song, you can change the music when you're playing the game by with a press of a button, the end button, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty much the best part of this game. I honestly have to say is the music. But yeah, overall, getting to the pricing here, yeah, it's $8.99, so $9. Unless you just want to fool around with the in the free mode, if you want to check it out for yourself, you'll probably mostly mess around with the free mode. Honestly, the story mode as it is, for going through the story itself, I really couldn't recommend this. It's got some bugs, so that can prevent you from making any more progress. I honestly can't recommend this, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's even without the bugs, it's just going to be bland. And as I keep repeating, you'll probably just be messing around in the free mode if it weren't for the bugs otherwise. So
I see.
So, yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Indeed, that'll about do it for not just Candy Machine here, but the review session. Oh, coming up on the week ahead. Let's see. On Wednesday, September 9th, we'll be having Michael Townsend of Doublespeak Games. We'll be primarily talking about Penrose. Penrose is a mobile game, iOS and Android, which is a nonlinear narrative game which scroll forwards and backwards through an ever-changing story, manipulate the environment, explore every possibility, and unravel the mystery at the heart of everything, which is vague. Basically, you're solving puzzles through the narrative, the text and stuff. Like, really interesting stuff. Coming up on Friday. Hang on. Wrong window. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Wait, where did my thing go? There it is. All right. Friday, September 11th. We will be having Olivier Lariou. Olivier Lariou. That's my best stab at this name. You know, 4 names in my tongue don't always mix. Of Ian Games. They are the developers of, Bleeding Moons. You know, the game we just featured at the top of this review session. So, hopefully we'll gain some more insight into the creation process and things of that nature. Until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.